psychic mediums who can talk to dead people with a high accuracy.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Crazy.
Might as well say it's crazy that the Undertaker is a mystical being. He talks about this. The guy's dead and he's still alive.
Sometimes they hit on shit that
I agree. Tommy's right. Sometimes there's.
Thank you. That's not possible that you could.
Yep.
All right, welcome to the Bracket episode 135. Today we are debating things that we should talk about more. A Tommy Smokes special. No Chicago boys today. They're out filming, I believe it was at a baseball draft or something like that.
Home Run Derby.
Home Run Derby, sorry. They're filming a Home Run Derby.
Yo, I'm here.
And we have Dante the Don joining in. One of the ultimate, you're a guy that wants to talk about things, I think.
Chicago guy, too.
Yeah. Well, I meant like the Chicago crew that we usually have on our show.
The guys that none of them live in the city.
Yeah, exactly. It was after the big split.
Talk about that more.
Feits obviously on.
Dave lives in the city.
Yeah. Feits here. Marty Mush here. Klemmer, Robbie Fox, and obviously Tommy. But we also have to talk about, we are in, the studio is already causing a bunch of problems. Klemmer's seat is...
Yeah,
you're
fine.
struggling.
There's no headphones. There's the seats are.
Bro, I didn't want to say anything, but this place is falling apart.
Versus the Chicago.
What the fuck happened to this place?
Just
A lot
everyone
of people
left.
moved to Chicago.
Bathroom, like it reminds me. It's like it's not Milton, but it's fucking falling apart, bro. Dude, it's falling apart.
Fucking breaks here.
The bathroom stall door is like being held on by duct tape.
Bathroom store door is a little rickety. Might as well be a dentist office in Milton, Mass.
The kitchen is like bare. There's
Kitchen's
duct tape.
stocked.
There's duct tape holding the.
Kitchen is fully
This
stocked.
is actually the most stocked it's ever been. Honestly, it has been way worse before.
He's comparing it to the
Chef
kitchen in
Donnie there,
Chicago.
maybe
The
like a
kitchen in
flaming-
Chicago is. You have flaming.
You guys don't have Portillo's? Yeah, the kitchen's fully stocked.
We also, the urinal didn't work for about 3 years.
Yeah,
that was a problem. That was a massive problem. Before we get into the episode, let's talk about body armor. You see body armor right in front of us. Barstool office, we all love body armor. This episode is brought to you by, you're looking at it right here, the Zero Sugar
Really
drink.
good.
We love this. And this is, again, I talk about it every time we mention any body armor ad. I don't know how they crack the code on lemon lime. It's absolutely tremendous. Real hydration, real ingredients, packed with electrolytes, vitamins, and nothing artificial. Body armor sports drink has all of your hydration covered. Sports drinks, light, zero sugar, flash IV, and, of course, sport water. We love it. Again, if you're watching anything, any sort of Barstool video, you're going to see body armor somewhere in there. Head on over to the Body Armor store at Amazon and use code 15BARSTOOLBA for 15% off your order today. That's a good deal, 15% off your order. But we're doing, again, things that people should talk about more. First matchup of the day, I think I used probably 90% our own suggestions, so that should make it a little more interesting. Is the number 12 seed, Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs, something people that we think we don't talk about enough. The fact that the planet was once ran by behemoth monsters that would scare the daylights. And multiple movies made out of this, but it is kind of a thing that...
That's an awful pick.
You think we talk too much about
I feel like
dinosaurs?
we talk a lot about
Too much.
I wouldn't say. I think we talk about dinosaurs inappropriate.
Jurassic Park, you know, like
I feel like pre-K through second grade is almost exclusively.
But then after that...
children don't stop talking about it.
Then there's a big fall off. There is.
there is.
And that's the number 5 seed. This is one of the inspiring picks of the whole thing. The fact that parrots can talk.
This was the number one thing I had.
Oh wow, that is
Crazy.
It is crazy.
Good. That's
Fucking tried to do it for how many years here?
The fact that birds can talk.
Not a parrot, yeah.
You had a
Yeah, I know. It had my voice. It used to get me in trouble when I was in the shower. I would say, "Mom." She's like, "What?"
What's Rudy up to these days?
He's in Florida. He retired in Florida.
Tired of four.
Yeah.
And I remember you told me they live a surprisingly long time, right?
Everyone in this room will die before that bird.
That's
85 years.
No shit.
Yeah. Parrots live for 85 years.
That's kind of more jarring.
That should be talked about more.
Parrots in general.
Yeah, parrots are in itself.
They don't talk. They just
a parrot.
They
Mimic.
kind of talk.
They mimic.
Are they able to have like conversation?
have
Like they
their own
can't say like how they feel. Like I'm sad or I'm happy. They're just repeating what they already heard in their mind, right? I'm asking.
No, yeah.
No, you're right, but like still, the fact that they can say in
don't have a
sentence
personality.
in English
Yeah.
is insane.
Without teeth, without like...
That's
So, like,
yeah,
what
that's
you
pretty
do
good. I
to a
almost
bird,
think that they're
you
so
leave it-
old. I think who said that? Like they're so old. I think is almost more interesting.
They're like a child. Why does a child say mom or dad first? You
Calling
know?
for
It's like-
attention, but then they can say
No,
I'm hurt.
When you're because you say like say mom, dad, like you say the word over
yeah,
and
right.
over. That's
Can you
why a
imagine if like
parrot says-
dogs could do this?
It would be insane.
There are some dogs that can
I-
mouth out
Can't
words.
imagine.
I would never in a million years want dogs to talk.
Why's that? What are you doing to your dog that you don't want to speak?
Look, I would imagine like, a dog is like, I want to go to my fucking family.
Oh,
They probably hate, dude, you fucking kidnapped me from a great farm. Let me the fuck out of here in this New York apartment.
No, they're happy.
right.
No, they'd be like, I love you, and I'd be like, I love you.
No, I actually think you're so right. You don't want to hear their thoughts at all.
what is it? In Up, the dog can talk, and it's tremendous. I mean, but he's mostly saying nice things.
Yeah.
There are dogs that could do the parrot thing, though.
I don't think that's
Like,
true.
there's
you see it
videos
on
of dogs
TV,
going like,
yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
Like, dogs could do that.
I don't
Not
think-
all dogs.
Hang on a second, Bob.
What?
Not all dogs.
I've
I'm
seen it.
telling you, dogs could
Yeah.
do this.
As I got to go back to the dinosaurs thing for a minute. I've been grappling with it. I'm gonna just say it. I have a friend who's convinced. Of course, John's gonna say, of course, you have a friend that thinks this, that dinosaurs never existed.
Honestly, Dante, I thought it was going to be you.
Dante?
Is that
No,
friend in the ring with us right
like
now?
my
No.
friend, you know?
And, hey, hold on. And this was he's actually sent me like he legit buys into this. He said that all the fossils you see in museums, like the Smithsonian and all that, are not actual fossils, that they're like recreated.
Productions.
Yeah. And that they claim all the real fossils are stored in like not secret, but protected
Vaults.
like vaults.
I kind of could buy into
Well,
that.
hang on, but then if that's true, then he believes that dinosaurs existed.
No, he said that.
What are the
he
secret
thinks-
fossils?
What are the
What are the fossils?
Dude, I don't know, man, but I'm like, but isn't that like, how do people start thinking that is?
Yeah, why do people believe in conspiracy? What kind of person would believe in conspiracy?
You, the person asking this question.
You realize what you're saying?
Yeah,
All right.
but where does that come about? Like, that's something that.
That's what we want to know. You tell us.
Oh, like one day you're
Please do. What's going on here? Yes.
like one day you're just sitting around and you're like, hey, you know what? I never saw a dinosaur before. I don't buy it.
Dante, this is like me saying, can you believe people are skinny?
It's all coming together.
No, I'm being serious.
Someone else run your Twitter?
First parrot. We'll just say parrots in general, because the age thing is honestly
The
very.
aging is wild.
So parrots versus dinosaurs. We'll start with you, Klemmer.
I'm gonna go with parrots, and I said more so for they do live so long. It is wild, and we don't talk about that enough. I like that.
One for parrots, Robbie.
I'll go with parrots. There's not as many movies made about parrots.
That's very true. A lot less representation.
Yeah, we talk about dinosaurs a lot. Parrots was the thing that inspired this whole topic for me. I was like, it's crazy we don't talk more about parrots just fucking
speak.
talking. You just have like weird, like your old aunt and like Hubs has parrots. People with parrots. And Marty.
You also, my old aunt does have.
Yeah. It's like old like ladies that probably had their husband die.
No, yes. You do not have a husband.
Never
who has
had
a
one,
parrot.
but
I think it's worse also. You have to have a parrot, not a parakeet. Like the parakeets are the worst.
That
They don't
noise.
talk.
Oh, my
They
mom's
just
got a
like
parakeet. It is
they're,
loud.
they're awful.
Birds are loud.
Yeah, they shit a lot too. Yeah.
Definitely people who thought they were buying a parrot and ended up with a parakeet.
And with a macaw, you don't want that. Macaws don't speak, right?
They might, but those things are kind of sick.
They're huge. They're awesome.
Huge.
I'm a big bird guy. Also, you can tie birds in because they're descendants of dinosaurs.
That's true.
So there's kind of a connection there.
Yeah.
But yeah, parrots all day.
Parrots all day from Dante.
The dinosaurs get talked about more often than you think, in just the sense that like anytime a sea creature is discovered or an alligator walks on a golf course, people go, "This is a dinosaur. This is a dinosaur." The dinosaurs are out there. They are. It is pretty wild that dinosaurs ever existed and ran the planet, but it's parrots.
Another one for parrots.
I don't care about dinosaurs. Never did.
You did. You are a noted parrot guy, so it all makes sense.
Yeah, I don't-
So parrots is going to move on. Next up, we have the number 4 versus the 13 seed. The 13 seed, I want to get a little bit more information on first because it's from Tommy Smokes. The fact that New York City has gotten rid of jail.
Yep, Dante. We just don't have jail anymore. They just said,
Oh wait,
They let them out.
you mean you guys are like following Chicago's?
yeah, we
footsteps?
get arrested, and then you go in for like 5 minutes. They go back on the street. They commit another crime.
There's no bail. Is that the thing? Is there's no bail,
They got
right?
rid of bail.
Real fast, Tommy. Can you let the audience know how many hours straight you've watched the news this past week?
So Saturday night we got back to our hotel. I watched 3-4 straight hours of Fox News. Sunday about 7 straight hours of Fox.
Did all this stem from you running for New York office?
I guess. I mean, it's all,
No, because you did, because you also were like trying to like mimic Trump a little bit, and then you're like, this guy's got good points.
and I was like, this is kind of amazing. And then you wake the fuck up. Yeah, I mean, New York City not having jail is legitimately crazy. We
Yeah.
didn't have
Taylor
jail.
Swift stalker. He keeps going to jail. They let the guy out. He goes right back to her apartment.
Isn't it nuts?
He gets
man?
arrested literally like an hour after he gets let out.
That's why I think it's so crazy. On her new album, she has a song. I forget the name of the song, but there's a verse or a lyric where it's like, "Even if it's handcuffed, I'm leaving with you." And I'm like, that's what that guy sings every fucking. This is about me.
Right, he's like, that's instructions.
She's singing as it's her. She's like so devoted to someone. I'm like, that's the fucking guy outside your apartment every day.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of him like hanging out in the dumpster right by our house, like just hanging out there, like waiting.
We got Tommy. We got like every other week. There's a guy they round up for shooting somebody, and he has an ankle bracelet on, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he just got out last week. He's been out 4 times."
Yeah.
It,
People are, why is crime up? Because we don't have jail anymore.
No jail. Didn't know until Tommy had written it, submitted it.
It's real. It's no bail.
And that's going up against number 4 seed. Just everything associated with the JFK assassination, because every single like weird conspiracy theory has been proven to be partially true.
Please make sure that reaction was
Keep a
on.
camera on Dante.
Permanent camera on Dante.
I think it's that look, Andy Pettit looking over the glove. He's like, here we go.
What a pull, Andy Pettit.
That's a great one. That was a great one.
I know exactly what the
One picture, yeah. So the JFK assassination versus the fact that New York City has gotten rid of
Fastball. All right.
Marty.
I feel like, honestly, we almost have to shout out Darren Ravel. We would have never talked about JFK assassination
If it wasn't for
that
him.
video. He just tweeted out of nowhere. His head
7
getting
a.m.
blown
Yeah.
off. Yes,
Have his
7
morning
a.m.
coffee.
Head getting
Yeah.
blown up. Yeah.
Yeah, I would go to JFK.
You would go 1 for JFK. Fights.
I would just, if we're sticking with the same arguments we've used, like there are movies and there's been series starring James Franco and books by Stephen King. Like JFK is pretty out there. So I guess I'm gonna have to go with this we got rid of jail thing, which is surely accurate.
Not going to read into that at all.
Feits has woken up.
1-1 right now, Dante.
I'm torn. I am honestly torn. Yeah, the no cash bail thing is like wild and crazy, and it should be at the top of everyone's list. It's not until like it affects you, and then at the same time, the country totally changed that day in November 1963. So it's like, I don't know.
I think the way to think about it too is not that there has
Passing? CIA up to their old tricks, Dante?
I guess I would say the no jail.
no jail.
Dante, I gotta ask. So the JFK thing, like in the '90s, it's all people talked. There was a movie called JFK. Like it's all anyone talked about for the
I was
entire
too young.
decade of the '90s.
I was too young.
Like the JFK thing has been beat to death. I think people don't talk about it anymore because it's all we talked about for like 10 years. Like there's a Seinfeld episode where they're making fun of the jail. Like it's all people talked about for a whole 10-year period. I think this was after 30 years after he died.
What I'm not like trying to set you up by asking this question. I'm genuinely curious. Why do you think they keep delaying opening up the files? Every president for the last 3 has said, we're going to open up the files, the
whole thing
JFK
is-
files, and then they get in and they say, never mind, we're gonna wait.
Yeah, no, the whole thing is crazy. I mean, it's crazy. That's why people. But the idea that, like, don't get me wrong, the JFK assassination is wild. I've watched the Zepp Bruder film a million times. I've watched the, JFK. I've watched documentaries. Anyone who's my age or older has seen these things 10 zillion times. But the idea that it's not talked about to me is that's a wild reach because I feel like it's talked about all the time.
Okay, that's fair.
I think it's more talking about the fact that like it's almost ubiquitously believed that like it wasn't just some lone dude, Lee Harvey Oswald, that just killed this guy.
And we're all just okay with that as a society.
Exactly. It's more it's like we're just kind of like, all right, fine. Like that clearly wasn't just a lone shooter. Just this dude was behind this, and we still don't totally.
So I guess like in the 90s, that's when that became like acceptable to say, like, because the movie came out and everyone's like, all right, we finally all believe it as a society. I said that's what the Seinfeld stuff, but like, I feel like we've all kind of we've all accepted that. And
That's
now
the
we've
weird
moved
part
on.
that we've just.
I guess so, but I guess if you're older, you already did that.
Fair. Tommy.
Yeah. most political issues, I can see both sides. But yeah, I understand your point. I understand your point. I don't know the reasoning to not want jail. That one I can't wrap my head
I don't know if
around.
it's true or not. I have no fucking clue. I just got rid of put it in because
Jail one, Dante.
He's right.
Yeah.
He's
Saying
right.
it wrong, but yes.
No, there's no cash bail. It's not.
Oh, like,
Jail is what we're
jail.
talking
The
about.
jail's around, guys. But
no
the
bail.
way the
Whatever.
System is
you
different.
don't go to jail.
They
when
don't.
you get
They don't
arrested.
So the
prosecute certain crimes.
So the proponents of
Broken
this
windows.
the proponents of this entire thing claim that sentences and repercussion and all that does not deter crime. That's their basis of this whole
Yeah,
thing.
that's very stupid.
Like telling like a school kid you can act like a jack off in class and you don't have to serve detention. Like, wouldn't you just
Sounds like a
fucking-
sick school.
you'd want to go to. Yeah. Robbie?
It's tough. Klemmer kind of swayed me against the JFK one. I think JFK, it's way more interesting, but I agree, like, it's way more talked about. So, no jail.
No jail.
Yeah, then no, it's, like Marty said, it's not no jail, but the idea that we kind of got rid of bail is fucking wild. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
No jail is going to move on. Next, we have the 8 versus the 9 seed. The 8 seed, another Tommy Smoke special. The guy that bowled a 300 on 9/11.
You just saw that clip, huh?
No, I had
just
this
saw it.
like a
I had this
month.
one in a while.
I just saw that is so.
I just think it's such
fucking
an
crazy.
insane story.
It really is.
What are we talking about?
There's this guy, I think it was in Boston, right? Or something.
I mean, you guys did a whole sketch about it.
Yeah. Fuck, I forget his name. It begins with a B. I want to say it's like Bob or Bill, and then his last name is with an M, I think. But he bowled.
Bill
Morrow.
Morrow.
Oh, Bill Morrow, yes. He bowled a 300 on 9/11.
Yeah.
He had there's like a wall of fame in the bowling alley, and it says like when you bowled it, it's like 9/11.
Like he was in a bowling league, and like that night he was like, "Well, I still got plans." Bowled the
The NFL might be canceling, but not me.
Hey, what else fell that day? Those pins.
Pins went down like crazy. This was it was in Massachusetts. Yeah. It was just crazy. The guy bowled 9/11. But yeah, and then the other one, it's going up against number 9 seed. The fact, and this is one I had to look up like three different times because I still don't believe it. It has never been 100 degrees in Miami ever.
No.
Never once has
What?
it been 100 degrees or over in Miami. Never hit
That's
triple digits.
true. Winner.
Never hit triple digits ever. I looked it up.
What?
In the history that they've recorded temperature in Miami, it has never once hit triple
What
digits.
about feels like?
The humidity is so high.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
What's that?
The feels like? Does it hit over?
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Has to,
certainly.
has to, right?
120.
Because the humidity is so much, but
Yeah.
you're right. It's never hit. I
Never hit triple digits.
found that out recently in a boom. You know what?
If this doesn't win, I'm gonna be.
That is, I mean, for this category
That's
alone,
pretty
like, it's
crazy.
easy.
It
Like,
doesn't hit 100 and fall. Like you said, like, I lived in Tampa for a couple years, and it would be like 92, but you feel like it's 110.
150
Like you
degrees.
walk outside and look how small I am. I would sweat like crazy.
So the guy that bowled the 300 9/11 versus the fact that's never been 100 degrees in Miami.
This is a heavyweight challenge.
Yeah.
Battle here.
See, this is a funny thing about like just these questions in general, because like it's basically all me and my friends talk about.
These two
guy.
Everyone's talking about your world.
It's a saved picture in my phone. It's a very regular discussion for me.
I could picture the guy right now, bald head, glasses.
Yeah. Earring. Yeah,
In case you- in case
I
you've
know
never
old
seen
Bill.
Dante, that's the guy's face. I'll put him up on the screen for those of you watching on YouTube and Rumble. It's the guy's just a little smirk.
Looks like rear ad.
He does kind of look like Rear Admiral.
Yeah.
Just a little smirk with that 300. Starting with you, Klemmer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Miami thing because when I found out a couple years ago and it broke my brain so much, I had to I spent like an hour researching it. Like I couldn't believe it was true, but alas, it is. So I'm gonna go with the Miami, never hitting 100.
One for Miami.
It's crazy.
Yeah, shout out to Dave.
I might have said this before. My mom got a haircut on 9/11 right after that went down.
After?
She has told me that it was the moment of like, she was like, I mean, I have the hair appointment. Like, we're also in North New Jersey, so close to the city. And I think my dad was like, you're not going to that. And she's like, yes, I am. And she went.
If they hit a salon. If they flew a plane into a salon in North Jersey.
She didn't let the terrorists win that day.
Bob, you're going with 9/11.
No, I'm going with the Miami one. I've never heard that before. That's insane. I just wanted to shout out my mom for getting that haircut.
Not letting them win. Tommy?
Not quite the same stakes, but I was supposed to get a massage right after Kobe crashed in his helicopter.
And you canceled?
No, I got the massage.
I remember that
You said I was supposed to. I was
asking
like,
if
what?
you should go.
Yeah, I still had to get the massage.
Should I still go?
But you like pretended like
Well,
you
no,
were
the guy was like, I was like, it ended up being it was a whole thing. It ended up being, I think, a gay massage parlor, and like the guy was, I didn't want the guy, but I was like, all right, well, I got to do this, and then I was like, oh, making small talk, like, you see Kobe died in a helicopter. He's like, oh, that's like a friend of yours? No. But yeah, the Miami thing's crazy.
Is that like your gay accent, or like was that
it was
foreign
gay
accent?
Brazilian.
Okay.
I thought that was gay Serbian. That was close.
Yeah.
I didn't know I didn't know which accent he was going
I feel
for.
like millennials think Kobe Bryant and 9/11 is like somewhat similar.
No, they're not. But whatever, big event.
Anytime it's brought up, Kobe always ends up coming up. I'm like, that's a strange reflex.
It is weird.
Oh, it's just like you know where you were when you heard
Also,
the
it
news.
was like
Yeah.
COVID too, so nothing else was happening.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't COVID yet.
It was right
wasn't
before.
COVID?
It was the day after I got married.
Oh.
Yeah, and we were going on
What?
the day after I got married is the day Kobe died, and we were on our way to the honeymoon. That's why and the COVID was like 2 weeks later.
It was right before. Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were in LA recently, Pavs kept count of how many murals of Kobe he saw, and we were only there for like one day, and I think he saw 13 or something like that. And I was just like, that guy, he knows how to bury a story.
That's
I
kind
honestly always said, like, I do think some like celebrities that were that big unfortunately pass early because of how bad it would be.
Yeah.
How, like Elvis, like if he stayed around longer, it'd be bad.
Bad news.
Some of these guys were not great. They need to go. Let's remember them how they were.
It is. I'm always, every time I'm like, yeah, another thing too.
Yeah.
Bad guy.
Yeah. Every time we talk about Kobe, that's Klemmer's like ultimate thing. He always comes back. Why does no one talk about this?
Because it's
Yeah, we got
happened, and it was like the major story in SportsCenter for like 2 years, and then that just completely gets forgotten.
Wasn't he
number.
getting?
But it got forgotten even before the
It
helicopter.
did.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
For
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
He
yeah.
won an Oscar.
Wasn't he
Like
getting
that
kids
flown
movie.
like during? I don't know if it was a regular season or if it was playoffs. Like he would get like
Flown from Colorado. He had a
the
private
buses would
jet.
have a PJ.
Yes, they had a private jet bring him from the courthouse to. That's like, and the idea that and maybe if you're younger, don't know, like the idea that like that's just like, oh, whatever, I had to brush that. No, that's a pretty big deal.
So Tommy, you going with the bowler or the
I'm going with the Miami thing's crazy.
Miami thing
The only
is
thing I just
crazy.
think's kind of funny. I don't know. I don't know why that popped into my head for this topic.
So-
But the Miami one's nuts.
3-0 Miami right now. Dante.
Oh, Miami. That's such a great fun fact. You probably win a decent amount of money betting people at a bar.
Oh,
I don't know though. If someone came up to me and was like, "I'll bet you $10,000 100 degrees in Miami," I'd be like, "This guy must know something."
No, but if you're like, hey, do you know it's never been 100 degrees in Miami? People be like, fuck you. Be like, I'll bet you $10. Look it up right now.
I might bet 10.
You could start a small empire with that.
Yeah.
Might be Dante's
First
new
domino.
series.
Fights.
Yeah. No, I'm a Bill Morrow stan. I love Bill Morrow, but it's got to be Miami here.
Miami. Marty.
I'm going Miami because you think about because I guess we don't think about it as much because like we were in New York and that was all your everyone else had to still live. Like someone in Colorado probably got a 298 that day. You know?
Oh, it sucks for that guy.
Yeah.
I'm going with Miami.
Going with Miami. Miami's going to clean sweep it. Now we have the Che-in game to go up against the number 1 seed. So for a play-in first option, this is a mush one. How we just do things because a random person said to do it.
Oh yeah.
Life.
You know?
There's so many things that someone made up that we just follow.
Give us an example.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tuesday.
Fuck, he's right. God damn.
It's the worst day. We just accept it.
It's just days. There's so many things we have no idea.
Have you ever seen the show The Push on Netflix?
I don't think so.
Dude, it's crazy. It's kind of a little about what you're talking about, where it's just about like societal influence and how it gets you to do things. And so the premise of the show is they get people to this party, right? Then they're just hired as waiters, but they do a bunch of psychological experiments on them first, where like while they're at the interview process, everyone else will stand up to see if they'll stand. So they get people who are susceptible to like being lamb, really.
Influenced, yeah.
And then at this party, they fucking keep pushing them further and further and further to the point where they think that they were part of killing this guy accidentally. They're a waiter, and I think they serve him something he's allergic to or whatever. And one person witnesses it. And then later in the night, that person who witnessed it is smoking a cigarette on the side of the building. And someone's like, I think you should just push him. Like, just like get rid of this. and some of the people actually do.
Jesus
I
Christ.
forgot I watched that. That was
Strapped up
crazy.
to a thing, so
Crazy.
he falls, and then they come on, they're like, "We got you," and it's like, "Oh," it's like that person just committed murder.
No way.
That's crazy though. That's
How old is this show? I gotta watch this.
Barely
Just a few years ago, I remember. Now that you laid it out, it is crazy.
Stanford experiment.
Because you see like the unraveling of this person's like it's like almost should be illegal to do this to someone.
or you should arrest the person for attempted murder afterwards. They pushed the person off the building as far as they were concerned.
That's a pre-crime of
Serious.
all pre-crime.
Borderline just crime.
Yeah.
Another Mush one, how a top sheet makes your sleeping situation much more comfortable. I'd agree with that.
I've just recently added a top sheet. And
Much
I've
more comfortable.
Oh, I
enjoyed
think
it a
so.
lot more.
Doesn't have a top.
Wait, a top sheet?
lot of
Just a
people
normal sheet you're
on the
talking
top
about?
sheet.
My whole life, I think I
oh.
just had a sheet and a blanket.
I thought you meant like sometimes people put just one sheet over the sheet.
It's a sheet.
You're talking about a sheet.
It's a sheet, but then another sheet
Goes over
and
that
then the blanket.
When you go to a hotel,
You mean it?
Yeah, like I've stayed in hotels before that just go straight blanket.
What the fuck
it's
are
so
you
gross.
confused about?
It's
All right, so
gross.
there's the bottom. There's the there's the
Normal
bottom.
sheet goes around your mattress.
That goes around the mattress.
and then
Of another
That's a top sheet.
top sheet.
Yeah.
I just thought that everybody had.
So it's fitted sheet, top sheet, comfort.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Is that not just how society goes?
Not everyone does
Dude,
that.
there's some people.
when you
I've-
get into bed, you have a sheet and a blanket on top of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the top sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people just.
Some people
a lot
don't
of
have the
people
top
just
sheet.
have
They just have blanket on
yeah,
skin.
some
We
people
should
just
talk
go
more about
comfort.
the people that don't. It's crazy.
We simply just don't talk about barcodes enough.
Yeah.
Barcodes are kind of cool.
Like
Or like-
QR codes or barcodes?
Both kind of like even like when you got like my Metro card. I said no, I got $14 on
The
there.
magnetic strip.
I understand the barcode. I got it.
Magnetic
You know what
strip.
I mean? But like it's
It's not on. Well, no, but on your there's no barcode here. It's just a magnetic strip, and there's
nothing worse than when you have someone explain something.
Mansplaining.
Robbie Fox submitted the fact that Matthew Broderick killed a guy. That is kind of crazy.
Yes.
We talk about that.
Hold on.
Kind of crazy.
Wait.
a lot of people don't know that.
England.
Dante didn't know.
Dante didn't know.
Ferris Bueller
Northern
killed a guy.
Ireland.
When?
Northern Ireland.
Killed two people.
In the
Two people.
80s, him and Jennifer Grey were driving, and they hit a mother and daughter going head on, killed them both. Both of Matthew Broderick and Jennifer Grey got away scot-free.
It was in Ireland. They were on the wrong side of the road, and he didn't know.
Nobody talks about that.
No.
Ferris Bueller killed two people.
Yep.
Kind of crazy. A lot of people.
In the height of his career, this was like when he was like at his peak. Just First Bueller just came out like a year earlier.
Terrible.
Jennifer Grey had just done Dirty Dancing.
That is just
They
so
sober?
sad. Like,
I believe so. I believe it was in the early. I bet he's supposedly.
It's a horrific accident. That
Yeah.
sucks.
The guy from the hotel manager from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, also same thing.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
Really? Mr. Mosby?
Mosby killed a guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Holy
did.
shit.
Yeah.
Jim Boeheim killed a guy. Got a standing ovation. the
Standing
next
ovation. That's right.
Razor Ramon.
Brandy.
Brandy.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
Rebecca Gayheart. The if you're of a
Yeah,
certain
she was
age.
hot.
Yeah.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Tony Stewart.
Ray Lewis.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ray Lewis,
Statue.
yeah.
It's crazy. They're just like hanging out now. You know.
Yeah. This is a Tommy one that I agree with a lot. Psychic mediums who can talk to dead people with a high accuracy.
yeah, what's going on there?
Dude, I missed the memo.
I mean, it's been
on-
Nothing's
sad
going
watching
on
you
there.
some of these answers are so good.
That's
Talking about Tom.
I gave the worst
one ever.
answers.
There are
one was pretty
shows
bad.
of
That was
psychics
bad.
talking to like John Edwards shows, and they're
No, I agree.
right.
Crazy.
Might as well say it's crazy that The Undertaker is a mystical being. When he talks about this, the guy's dead and he's still alive.
Sometimes they hit on shit that
I agree. Tommy's right. Sometimes there's
Thank you. That's like
sometimes-
that's not possible that you could have
Yep.
known that unless you're literally talking to dead people.
there are a lot
That's
of there are a lot of
true. A whole other
scammers
can of
and con artists. Tommy's right.
I think most of the time it's like I figure out like how they like kind of got the information, but sometimes they say something like, "How the fuck did you
Yeah,
possibly dig
it's
that up?"
weird.
Yeah. And then lastly, where did that Malaysian flight go?
Yeah, yeah. Where the hell?
Another great one.
Dante's like asleep except for when things pop up.
So to go through the play-in options here, just how we do we do things because a random person said it. How do you use your top sheet? We don't talk about barcodes enough. Matthew Broderick killing a guy, psychic mediums, and then where did that Malaysian flight go? Let's start with you, Klemmer. Which J-in option you want to go, move on?
I'm gonna say we do things because a random person told us to. Like you said, like the idea that like society we just accept this is the work week. And I know we have to do that or else society would devolve into chaos. I understand all that. But the fact that we all buy in is pretty fucking wild. So I'm going to go with that. Society like telling us to do things and we just listen.
One for society, Robbie Fox.
I'm going with Matthew Broderick killing a guy. Or two people, sorry. Very sad, but we don't talk about that enough.
Matthew Broderick.
And after that reaction, I'm sticking to my fucking guns and going with the psychic media. I know it's like there are. That's not even like crazy conspiracy theory. Like there's some psychic mediums that hit on things that are so crazy where it's like something's going on here. And we
You would have bought so much snake oil like 150 years ago.
I backpedaled a lot there too. With like, it's so crazy. Sometimes they hit versus like.
They also ask a lot of
The
questions.
original proposition was they talk to dead people.
Obviously, there's a lot of frauds, but I think there are some people that communicate with the dead.
Dante.
Malaysian Air.
Malaysian Air. Still haven't found it. Lights.
So right now it's
I'm going
1-1-1-1.
1-1-1-1.
I agree with Klemmer. Like society is impressive. I think that we just all follow the rules.
Yep. And
By a humongous,
Not all of us.
a humongous.
Bro, I think there's like some. I also think the rich elite. Like I've always said this. Like no way Kim Kardashian's phones ever died. No chance. Like I also think that people are doing something at night when they tell us all to sleep.
Oh, whoa.
Conspiracy theory I could get
Some
behind.
people don't sleep. That's a good, I like that.
I think that
What
they're
the hell is
awake.
going on at nighttime?
I think
How do we
they're
figure
all
this
awake
out?
when we're sleeping. Yeah,
I'm thinking about staying up all night once to figure it out.
I stay up pretty late every night. I play my baseball simulator. There's not that much exciting stuff going on.
it's pretty awesome.
You're
No
not
one's
invited
up.
to the clubs.
Just really quiet.
It's clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, society.
Going with the society one too. Okay, so the society one's going to move on, and that's going up against our number 1 seed, which is the government kind of confirming that aliens and UFOs have existed and been found and caught. There was a guy that worked on task force to find aliens for the U.S. Air Force that confirmed they found non-human biologics at UFO crash sites.
Amen.
Full-on whistleblower, like everything, and like just no one seemed to talk
I
about
feel,
it.
because I feel like aliens are so talked about a lot.
But I
Talked
feel
about,
like
but the
we
fact that-
don't talk about the confirmation. Like,
Yes,
everyone
like
goes,
The
"Oh,
government's like
aliens."
correct. They exist and we
I
found
even
them.
kind of, I guess my brain, I'm like, yeah, of course they are.
To me, the thing that pisses me off the most about this is until this happened in our lifetime, think about like our parents, our grandparents, all these people that saw shit and came forward were like lives ruined, destroyed.
Called crackpots.
Throw this person in an insane asylum. They're fucking crazy. They like humiliated these people publicly and all this shit. And now all of a sudden they're just like, "Yep, you guys, you got us. You're right.
You're onto something."
We just didn't want to tell anybody because we were afraid how everyone was going to react."
Yep.
That's
Turned out
that's
nobody
fucked
cared.
up.
Yeah. No one cared.
Nobody
at all.
cares. It's the craziest thing. Tom DeLonge, he was a great example.
That's
Everyone-
what-
he went on Rogan. Everyone said that guy is certifiably insane. He needs to be put in an asylum. 2 weeks later, the government was like, actually, the things Tom DeLonge was talking about, those are the true ones. He was like, what? The guy from Blink 182 was the one to uncover this?
This has always been my theory. Hollywood knows.
Why would Hollywood?
They
know?
make movies about things. So in your brain, we just think aliens are big green things. But they know what's really going on and change the truth a little bit. Like they've shown some things in the movies that's happening in real life. But they just
like what
make-
the Obama.
Wouldn't they
used
make
to
the
it.
aliens like friendly and not scary so there wouldn't be a panic then?
Some of them are.
Yeah, there's some friendly ones.
E.T.? I guess E.T.'s a good
Yeah,
example to your
E.T.,
point.
Like I feel like they
Paul?
great guy.
make
Paul's a
things
good one.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like
Hackney?
where'd they come up with the alien
was a great
shit?
movie.
Because they know it was real.
So which one do you like? Do you like the UFOs or do you like the societal rules?
Society. Because I'd still think that
I think it all applies.
Yeah.
I think just as there's different like races of humans, I think there's different races of aliens. There's probably nice ones. There's probably fucking ones that want to eradicate us.
Certainly.
Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah, Star Wars in a big way.
There's so many solar systems. Like every star is a solar system, right? That's crazy. And that's just the ones we can see. It goes on forever.
Endless
So there must be all sorts of different kind of aliens.
Can
So-
you add languages to this, by the way, at one point?
I'll add that back on.
I would like to explain that.
So you're sticking with society over UFOs?
yeah.
One for society, fights?
I'm also going society over UFOs. I think they're extremely talked about.
It's not the UFO thing. It's the fact that they were confirmed.
Yeah,
In that-
but I think that
United
goes.
States government.
I don't think anyone brings up aliens nowadays without mentioning that they're confirmed.
Okay.
So like,
Oh, my favorite people are the ones that have like flip-flopped now. Now that the government's acknowledging them, now they don't believe in them. They believed in them when it was denied, and now that it's acknowledged, They think
It's a
You're
government
in some
conspiracy.
dark.
I was going to say, what does his timeline look like? What does that look like?
Alien.
Oh, I'm serious. I'm serious. There are people out there that are like,
They're just so anti-government that now they think the government's lying. Yeah. Real.
yeah. So wait. So what was the?
By the way, for the record, I said earlier, like the Obamas did when we were talking about Hollywood, that I don't believe that. I was just trying to get Dante going.
Getting it right. So 2 for the society right now versus UFOs, Dante.
What was the society?
It was like the fact that we do things.
Oh, that we just go along with things. UFOs.
You won for UFOs. We're 2-1 right now in favor of society. Tommy.
Yeah, I'm going UFOs too. I feel like it was like the biggest topic in the world for years. Like aliens. What if they're real? And then the government's like, yeah, they are real. And people cared a lot less once they found out that
So
they
funny. Zal was like the person that said it was real.
Aliens easy for me.
Aliens easy for you. We're 3-2 right now.
Oh, I think it's society. Everything we do is based on like even like I was just thinking like retirement like wasn't a thing until like the 30s, and then like the Social Security came into play.
Where are we going with this?
No, but like and then we've all just like bought in. Like we all like
I thought
oh
you were
yeah,
talking about
retirement's the thing now. Like
And
like
it's
it's
like,
funny how like
and
things
the
can shift
age.
and like we all just like oh yeah we're doing that now, which some things are good. Most things are good. Society most for the most part I think has good intentions, but then some things we just go along with that aren't even that good and we just do it.
Imagine the age was 48. People
Right.
would be happier.
Yes, and maybe we have less things, but because of society, that's what we've accepted. You're exactly right, Marty.
So we're tied.
Who's to say?
That's what I'm saying.
We're tied 3-3. Producer Sean, or intern Sean, I guess, you're gonna have to break our tie here. UFOs versus the society thing.
I'm actually handing this one over to intern Mia.
Intern Mia, make the call.
Um,
Wrong other mic. There.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Come to this one.
I gotta go with aliens for this one, actually.
That just sounded so funny.
So aliens are going to move on. The UFOs are going to make it over. Before we get to the second half of the bracket, let's talk about Ibotta. This summer, we could all use a little extra cash in our pockets. Make sure you're getting cash back on all of your everyday purchases with Ibotta. It is the free app that gives you the most cash back every time you shop on hundreds of items, from groceries to beauty supplies to toys. So you can make sure you're beating inflation no matter what you're purchasing. Thanks, Joe Biden. Am I right, fellas? The average Ibotta user earns $145 a year. That could cover the cost of an entire shopping trip, or buy the flight you've been eyeing, that game you've been dying to go to, or a fancy dinner that you've been craving. Join the over 50 million savers and earn cash back every time you shop from over 2,700 brands and retailers, including Lowe's, Macy's, Sephora, Best Buy, and more. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying Ibotta and using the code BRACKET when you register. So go to the App Store, Google Play Store, and download the free Ibotta app and start earning cash back when you use code BRACKET. That's IBOTTA in the Google Play or App Store, and use code BRACKET. All right, second half of the bracket. Number 6 seed versus the 11 seed. The 6 seed is going to, I feel like some of you are going to get real riled up with this one. Where our taxes actually go. We don't actually know where our taxes go. And that's going up against the number 11 seed. This is a Robbie Fox one. The fact that Helen Keller wrote multiple books.
I'll never understand it. Me and my girlfriend, we didn't get into an argument about it, but like I just like blurted out at dinner, like it's crazy that we're still accepting Helen Keller as a thing. She was like, "You're not serious about that, are you?" And I was like, "No, I'm pretty serious. Like, I don't get it. I just don't understand." I started looking up how she was taught. I know there's movies made about it and stuff. Like, I think her teachers, like a famous teacher, would bring her hand over water and she would be like, "Water." But just...
Is that how she said it?
I don't know how she said it. I don't know. I don't know how any of it happened.
Not clearly.
No, the teacher would say that to Helen Keller. But like, what does that do if she's deaf?
It's such a perfect name for a deaf
Helen Keller?
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like dishwasher, word that sounds like what it is.
Better than Stevie Wonder saying, "What's up, big fella?" to the shack in the elevator.
So Klemmer, you're up first. Us not knowing where our taxes actually go versus Helen Keller writing books.
Basically,
Yeah.
Helen Keller existing.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a whole like book and then movie and play about how she taught her. I feel like that's kind of been discussed. Like the
You could
teacher, she had a
discuss
great
it
teacher
for-
that was able to have the patience to sit with her and show her
I
how
just
to.
never understand how.
It's a wild achievement, and she's an incredible. Like I said, what she achieved in life is remarkable. But I feel like that's kind of been explained. At least there's a play about it. I feel like where our taxes go is such a weird, bizarre mystery, and each of us pay so much money, especially in New York, and it's like, what the fuck is happening? Where is this going? And they'll have like budgets, but then it's not really clear. Like there's so much like hidden secretness with it, mystery about it. It's bullshit. that.
One for taxes, Robbie.
There's way more mystery to me in a blind and deaf woman writing multiple books.
Like you added woman as if that was also a part.
I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that.
Guy could pull it off.
She could have been a man, and it would have been the
and
same
a woman.
thing.
How'd she do
No,
this?
no. I didn't mean it
Get
like
this.
that.
The worst part of all.
I didn't mean it like that.
Harrison Butker
fair.
Fox.
It would have been a man, and I would have thought the same thing. I would have had the confusion, but I just don't get it. You can't explain to me. I could watch 100 plays. I could watch 10 plays in a row about how the teacher taught her. I won't get it.
She couldn't if she wanted to. Tommy?
I'm with Robbie. It's crazy, but I don't give a fuck about Helen Keller anymore. Like, I'm ready for us to just move on from Helen Keller. Like, how much longer?
We have.
But like, still,
I mean,
like,
I brought her up for this.
We know about her. Like, do you think 200 years from now, like, kids are still going to know about Helen?
Yeah, I
Keller?
think so. I think she.
That's
lasts.
crazy. We gotta.
No, I mean, she does. That's a fine. If we're gonna have something carry on, that's an okay
But
one.
what affects us more day to day right now is the tax. Where the hell are these taxes going? We should pay way less. Get rid of taxes on waiters' tips. And
Tommy's winning me over. Where's this guy been?
yeah, I've been
He's
awake.
woke up. He woke up. Yeah.
Yeah, going taxes.
Two for taxes, one for Helen Keller. Dante?
You don't even have to ask.
That was easy.
Straight to taxes.
Yeah.
3-1 right now. Fights?
So I'm torn on this one because it's become very in vogue to complain about taxes. I believe in 99% of the institutions.
Our country's founded on this.
Once I like right now, it's more than it was 3 years ago. I believe in like 99% of the institutions. I do like how in Europe when you get like it shows you your breakdown of like this much went to the arts, this much went to public facilities, this much went to
That's
this.
cool.
Yeah. So that's cool. I'm not a Helen Keller guy, so I guess I'm gonna go taxes. I'm not super passionate about either of these.
Another one, taxes.
Yeah, I think we're losing the plot a little bit here, fellas. I think we are. I think both are talked about a ton. Like this is what we don't talk about. We both are. Taxes is the number one thing people talk about. Any joke is what do you like, Helen Keller?
I don't think I've heard
any
any
joke.
joke.
I think a lot of jokes. Helen Keller's involved.
I think Marty
Helen Keller might be
nailed this.
Helen Keller might be said every day in this world.
Oh, easily.
I'm sure she
easily.
is, but
No, I think-
taxes
I mean,
is too. Yeah, like
I
I
don't
guess
think
that's your
people
point,
are
but,
talking
like,
about Tuesdays a lot. But I'm going with Helen Keller. I know it doesn't matter, but Helen.
Keller. Taxes is going to win. Next up, we have the 3 seed versus the 14 seed. The 3 seed, this is one that came in late. I kind of agree with it, though. Just magnets. And where the description is what got me. Magic rocks imbued with a powerful invisible force. They're good for sticking stuff to a fridge, making trains go over 300 miles an hour, and it protects the Earth from the sun.
It's so true.
It is insane.
Whose one was this? This is genius.
This is someone on Twitter, I believe, that submitted this
Yeah.
one. And it's like
I like that one.
It is
A lot of
insane.
information.
It's true when you think about it.
Try to wrap your head around how it's like they work, but not in the opposite way.
Yeah.
That's why I sat next to you.
They protect us from like solar flares. Like it's insane. Everything about
Think
magic.
about back in the day before like, computer science and all that. Like, how the fuck did people explain them to other people?
I have no fucking
Just like
clue.
the guy wrote, they're magic
I have a
rock.
magic rock that repels
Magic
or
rocks.
attracts each other. Like
Well, what is it? It's electricity, right? They're electro.
clue. Don't have a damn clue.
They're opposite.
Yeah.
Electromagnetic. I've
Even
heard
goes
that.
back to that strip I showed you with the swipe card. That's magnets. Magnets are everywhere.
So here's one, and this is what it's going up against. This is a Tommy special again. 14 seed. How every conspiracy theory against Trump has been proven wrong.
Russia.
Biden laptop, etc. I just wanted to
bracket?
give him the chance to explain this one.
This is gonna be a rumble viral fucking.
Oh, he colluded with Russia. Wrong. Hunter Biden's laptop has nothing on it. Wrong. Oh, there's no way that COVID came from a lab. Wrong. So just.
So I just want to give you the chance to defend it. You think this isn't talked about?
Not by it's talked about by half the population.
Hey, I don't think you understood the assignment.
This was
Tommy's just
Tommy's
like,
Trump
here's the
minute.
things I always talk about. I'd like to talk about them.
And also, Tommy heard Dante's joining. All right, Dante's been like this.
even know.
Tommy's been talking. Dante's been like this the whole time.
I love that Tommy just found out like the media's liberal. Yes, Tommy. They're
I
always
know,
gonna-
but
He just found out.
just figured it out.
we can't let him keep getting away with it.
Tommy's gonna put a stop to it, and Tommy's got his eyes locked on it now.
So magnets versus Trump conspiracy.
Magnets versus MAGA.
Yeah. Marty.
Magnets.
Magnets, an easy one.
Magnets.
Another easy one. Dante, I don't know which.
Magnets for sure.
Magnets for sure. I would definitely agree with magnets.
It is magnets. But I'm glad we got this on the record finally. I'm glad this was finally brought to life.
Magnets.
Yeah, magnets are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. The more I think about it, the more I don't understand it.
They might win the whole thing.
Magnets, of course.
Magnets is going to move on. I just want to, again, that's one of Tommy Smith's, and I'm like, I just got to let him defend that one when we put it up. Now we have the 7 seed versus the 10 seed. The 7 seed, this is a Marty one. How fucked we would be without handles?
Yeah.
Marty fucking nailed this.
I understood the assignment. No, when's the last time you talked about a handle?
Very rarely.
Only when they break.
Yeah.
You never appreciate them when they work.
That's a good point.
Handles are one of the most
on everything.
used thing in the world.
This reminds me of a segment we did on Case Radio a long time ago where it was like, can you believe this guy's British? And we just went through actors who are British, and everyone's like, yeah, no, I knew Idris Elba was British.
I didn't know Jax Teller was British for a while.
Charlie Hunnam? Yeah.
Probably on him,
For a while.
Hugh Laurie was mine.
House guy.
You know who made my mind blow? The guy from House.
Yep.
We're talking
He was
about
on the list. You would have loved this segment.
That guy, I heard that guy talk on a late night show, and I was like, wait a minute.
Do you guys know that Hugh Laurie is British?
That is.
That's
the guy from House.
that's the guy from House.
That was his name.
Yeah. So the handles is going up, or the handles are going up against number 10 seed. This is Dante's personal data. That was the only.
What?
There was no other further
If
explanation.
you walk outside right now, you'll see 3 billboards about personal data. That's not a joke.
Yeah, what are you talking about the fact that like companies are selling our personal data?
Yeah.
Like literally
super
across
talked
the street,
about.
There's
the Mulholland VPN thing.
yeah, they're everywhere you go.
Did you and Tommy get the wrong title for this bracket today?
I admit it after the second round. I was like, man, I submitted the worst fucking answer. Dude, I put like personal health. I put like serious shit.
There's a lot of very serious.
I was terrible at this, but yeah, no, I think it's become like we were just talking about. Everyone just is like, oh yeah, all my personal data is sold to fucking everybody in the world, and there's nothing I can do about it anymore. Oh well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of speaks to society, where you're like, I guess this is the way it is. Yeah.
I don't want our budding friendship to end here, Dante, but I'm actually like for this. Like I'm like take
pro.
all my I'd much like people are like, oh, personalized ads. Like I'd rather see shit that I want to see.
No, you don't, because then people will use that information in nefarious ways against you.
How? Like our like
They could. I mean, how does credit fraud? How does fraud exist?
That's
I don't know.
different. I'm talking about like I feel like this is more like personal data. Like they know I like this and this, so now I'm
Depends
seeing
who's
these
in
ads
whose
on
hands it is.
Instagram.
Though. If it's in the wrong hands, they can use it against you.
I think privacy used to be a real fucking big concern to a lot of people in the world, and now it's just like no one. Everyone's
that
like,
ended with the
doesn't
Patriot
exist
Act.
anymore.
Yeah, that's when that ended.
Not just that; it's like a generational thing too. Like I think we're in that weird no man's land before and after. But kids today,
I think it goes
they'll
back to
never
the
even
Patriot
know
Act.
what they'll never know the definition of privacy.
No, anyone who's born or who lived after the Patriot Act is okay with it. Where those of us who lived before it is like, well, this is really fucked up. But we also go okay with it too because we're Generation X and we just shrug our shoulders.
Why is it all patriot? Because I know they used that to get in our, but I think it's more to do with social media than that.
Well, I think it's a combination of things. But once you open that box, you can't close it again. And then at that point, we all just became. And I think also young people are so used to putting everything out there that they're like, oh, what else? What does it matter if X, Y, and Z is also out there? It's like, well, that's really bad if that's out there.
Yeah, I think that's like social media taking over and just like
We've lost
So
it completely.
how fucked we would be without handles versus personal data.
Yeah. A battle is holding. No, like fucking Marty's is so fucking good.
But the question,
so good.
the question
Imagine carrying
is,
your luggage, everything. You're just like holding it like a
cup of coffee burning your hand.
You go.
Open in the shower
No,
door.
you're right. Bags, like shopping bags.
the topic is what doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the answer clearly is handles.
Clearly.
Correct.
Clearly,
Handles deserve so much respect that we'd never get. I said unless they break.
Handles.
I'm gonna start every time I use a handle. I'm gonna be like, huh, thank you.
Yeah. Marty's got it.
Yeah,
Robbie.
Tesla too. They're trying to get rid of them. Fuck that.
I hate
I
them.
hate getting a Tesla Uber because
I
I'm
hate
like,
them. Hate
pushing
them.
buttons.
The guy's always trying to tell, like, before I even put my hand towards it, he's like, it's a handle, I'm like, I know. Just give me a second with it. I got to figure out what side comes in and what side goes out. Handles.
2 for handles.
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 Another one for handles.
handles.
Handles again.
We did Dante's to be the most depressing episode.
Oh, dude, it was bad. I'll read them off at the end.
Yeah, we don't want to. You can wait for the end for that. Handles is going to move on. Now we have our 15 seed play-in, starting with, and this is a Feits one. I'd love some explanation on this. Bin Laden is responsible for mainstream popularity of BDSM.
True.
See now,
Wait, what is
That's
that?
a good one. Yes.
what's BDSM?
What is that?
Like
bondage?
Domination, sodomy, and
Osama bin
Why?
Laden.
No,
Yes.
it's not. That's not true.
Yes, it is.
100%.
I need
Definitely.
There was a movie made about this in the 90s.
No, hold on. I need some backfill.
He's saying
Someone's
the
got to
mainstream.
explain.
I
it.
got
It was a movie with
Let Feits
major
explain.
stars in it.
I got
Feits
you.
explain.
Okay.
Let the Osama bin Laden expert talk for a second.
This was someone, I did not come up with this myself. Someone called into KSC Radio and explained it. We've since looked it up. It's all true. Okay. 9/11 happens. Rob's mom getting a haircut.
That guy's bowling a 300 a few hours later.
Guy's bowling a 300. Over in Brooklyn is a young man named Gerard Way. Sees the towers, goes down, writes a song called Skylines and Turnstiles. That births a band called My Chemical Romance. My Chemical Romance has some avid fans. One fan working on fan fiction forums, she starts writing this little kind of bestiality story. Okay, this story becomes Twilight. Twilight gets made, huge success. That has a fan who she's writing some fan fiction too, kind of taking inspiration from these characters, she says. Those characters are Christian Grey and whatever the fuck her name is. 50 Shades of Grey gets made. 50 Shades of Grey leads to your girlfriend like getting choked in bed.
Yep. So it's all a roundabout way. Bin Laden causing more fetishization. Fetishization.
Thanks, Osama. Yeah.
It actually,
Choke a girl. It's like, this is for Osama.
it actually leads to you actually had somebody wearing a leather face thing with the blowjob hole. I remember you telling that story.
Yeah.
Guys.
Executioner's mask. Yeah.
It's an executioner's mess.
Think back to Pulp Fiction, the Gimp. Like this would the bondage existed.
Shut up.
way
No, that's not a good point,
it
though.
existed, and maybe it was as popular as it
It was stigmatized.
Now it was destigmatized. Now it's like like I don't know. I was around in the '90s. Like people weren't talking about choking their girlfriends.
It's like normal now. In Pulp Fiction, it's played as the most horrendous, horrific thing that could ever happen.
Don's
Like,
right.
but people talked about, like I said, there's a major movie. Like Exit to Eden was a major movie. Like people talked about things before this. They did.
But it wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm going to go home and choke my girlfriend tonight.
Broadway saw the towers fall and wrote Skylines and Turnstiles. They didn't have a band yet. Then he made the band My Chemical Romance.
And then the woman who wrote Twilight was inspired by the band.
Twilight was originally written as My
Gerard Way, yeah.
Fan fiction, yeah.
This actually,
Really?
I like this one. I think this could inspire a whole other bracket of like weirdest domino effects.
Yeah.
That's a good
You
one.
have to put a lot.
That was I don't know if it made the list, but my other recommendation was
You have another one which will be coming up.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll
And
Klemmer fucking hates this one.
It's
so
not
angry.
true. It definitely inspired Twilight, which is a major franchise, and 50 Shades of Grey is a major franchise for sure. But like bondage was something it was still a thing.
more normalized now.
I guess.
It wasn't shit that your mom would say in front of you and you wouldn't like.
Yeah, if your mom was talking about bondage in the 90s, you would think it's nothing?
Yeah, but
My mom
now
talked about bondage.
but nowadays,
No,
like,
it
your
would
mom
have,
and
like-
your mom and your sister
You
are
guys think
like
it's-
talking about 50 Shades
Frankie
of Grey.
Muniz was tweeting
It's
about-
accepted.
Yeah,
and normal.
super accepted and normal
Frankie
now.
Muniz is tweeting about how he wanted to get dog walked by Megan Thee Stallion. You know what I mean? Like that shit wouldn't be funny.
Also, like I think you could say like sex in general has become more. I think as people in the 50s didn't talk about sex at all. I couldn't say pregnant. I think that's just a progression of society. I don't know if it's
Pregnant?
you couldn't say pregnant on TV in the 50s. Like sexualization has become more and more the norm. I think it's interesting that it created two franchises for sure. But like the idea that it created bondage is just simply just not true.
So
I know,
created.
and no one likes anything more than the guy that's like the grimy Grimes of The Simpsons who's like that's not true, but it's just not. I don't know how else.
It was. I mean, like my explanation of it was shortened for my title of it was just like in a text. But like I'm aware it
The
exists.
unshackled.
In my lifetime, we talk about it a lot more post 50 Shades of Grey than we did
Sure.
pre.
So your second one was Bill Belichick being responsible for Friday Night Lights.
Also true.
Explain that one.
So Buzz Bissinger, writer of Friday Night Lights, went to Phillips Andover with, and I just learned this on Games with Names, Julian Edelman's podcast. Ernie Adams was on it, and Buzz Bissinger went to Phillips Andover, where Belichick and Ernie Adams went. Bissinger was a year behind them, so he would cover them. He was a reporter for the school paper. He covered them. They kind of had a bit of a friendship. Many years later, Buzz Bissinger reached out to Ernie Adams and Bill Belichick and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about writing a book where I follow a local high school team around. What do you guys think about that?" He's going to do it in Western Pennsylvania. And Ernie and Bill said they knew that he'd never been below the Mason-Dixon line ever. And they were like, if you're going to do it, it's a great idea, but you got to go to West Texas. And because of that recommendation, he found Permian, blah, blah, blah.
Now in Friday Night Nights comes around,
Yeah.
So him and Ernie Adams, that's a good domino effect.
Wow. Another great one.
Next we have Michael and Bruce Buffer didn't know each other until they were both in the fight business. I thought they were brothers until I read that.
They are brothers.
How the fuck did they not know each other?
What?
They're brothers. They didn't know each other until they were both full-grown adults in the fight business together. And then I believe
is
the story
such
goes
bullshit.
that it's
They're
not
like
bullshit.
half brothers,
Dude, Bruce Buffer has a job because of Michael Buffer.
Yes, and didn't know Michael Buffer until he was in the fight business and realized he could market his brother.
No way.
Crazy.
Look it up. It's insane.
Also, no one say what it is they say.
Oh, yeah, it's trademarked, yes. Can't say that, yeah.
And they're very litigious.
Michael is. Michael is.
ready to YouTube.
Get ready to fight.
There's an entire, it's like a 20-minute, I think they like animated the story basically to make like a 20-minute documentary about how insane it is that like the two most famous fight announcers ever like basically split off and then like met up as adults and were like, oh, we do the same
Both
thing.
really good at it.
Yeah. I don't think Bruce was announcing when he met Michael. I think it was the sort of thing where he was like, all right, if we pair together, I can help make you a ton of money. And then he went off and became his own announcer. Better than Michael, in my opinion. But yeah, pretty crazy.
Wow.
Michael.
Really?
Who are some good siblings that you don't realize are siblings?
Pablo and Liev Schreiber is one that caught up me.
It's a crazy one.
Was it?
That one I never figured
Pablo
out.
and Liev Schreiber.
Yeah.
Pablo Schreiber?
Yeah, he's in, if you've seen Den of Thieves.
He's in like Halo.
Orange is the New Black.
Orange is the New Black.
Porn Stash and Orange is the New Black.
I don't know. That's a good question.
The one I always blow people's minds with is Rick and Skip Bayless. Which, if you're not in like the food,
does nothing for me.
Rick Bayless is like one of the best chefs in the world,
Yeah.
not just the country. He's a Mexican chef, and Skip's his brother. And people are like, they could not be more fucking polar opposite, and they hate each other and don't talk to each other.
Does everyone
Angelina
know?
Jolie being John Voight's son, daughter.
Daughter, yeah, that one's
Weird.
crazy.
That's a very weird one.
That's fucked up.
That's very weird. Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen brothers. Everyone knows
That
that.
has always fooled one. Yeah, that fooled people for a while. Next was, and this one, someone submitted it. It's not even like it just really got stuck in my head. How to spell the noise you make when you sniff.
Oh my God.
I have no fucking clue how do you spell that. Like,
How would you smell that noise?
how would you spell that noise?
Sniff.
No. Phonetically spell that noise.
Oh, I'm doing it. Sniff.
You would
No.
write sniff.
No.
No.
I know what you're saying. Like this noise of.
If I was like,
this
I'd be like
do-
CH or something.
This doesn't sound like the word
HS.
sniff.
Yeah, but that's what
That's
sniff is.
shh, right?
No.
HS.
Oh, HS.
I don't know. I hear a pretty solid sniff.
You hear the word sniff?
H.
I can hear it. Yeah. I don't know if I'm making myself hear it, but I can hear it.
I hear an H in there somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying HS.
What's the noise of swallowing?
Gulp.
It'd be like GLP, but it would be that sounds more like gulp than sniffs sounds like.
I think these are what are these words called? It's not
Yeah.
onomatopoeia. Is it onomatopoeia?
It is.
Yeah, it's like a word that sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So I think that's how we got the spelling. I can hear them in gulp and sniff. I can.
Yeah.
I can't hear sniff.
Yeah, it's just one I looked at. I read that one. I was like, I have no fucking clue how.
Yeah, I hear more
Like animal noises.
Yeah, I just don't know how it would
Same
go. And then Mush submitted birds' penises.
Yes. Everyone look up a bird's penis.
They're gross.
All right, let's do it.
It was a bad Google.
Ginormous
Everyone, let's
books.
do it.
I actually know this pretty well because when me and
check this
Donnie
one out.
went duck hunting with Wells, we were cutting up one of the ducks, and Donnie was like, "Can we get his dick out?" And we
The
did.
dick is crazy. Yeah, that's a
Fucking war
picture that I
criminal.
always look
Look
at.
at that thing hanging down.
Corkscrew, dude.
Wild.
No good.
You.
I remember I found this out with the cousins, with Mike Portnoy.
Mike Portnoy, oh my
It
God.
they were disturbed.
That's understandable. It's vile.
You don't really think about birds having penises, you know?
Derek Jeter hitting a walk-off single in his last ever at bat at Yankee Stadium. Tommy, love that one.
I mean, that's crazy. That
Crazy.
It wasn't his last at bat.
at Yankee Stadium.
At Yankee
I
Stadium.
know, but it makes it kind of lamer if you think.
Not really.
Last
He
at-
shouldn't
not
have played
even-
again. He shouldn't have
Not
played
even
again.
close to Ted Williams at
his
No.
last at bat ever at Yankee Stadium. Everything aligns for him to hit a walk-off
Yeah.
single.
Dude, Teddy
I mean,
Ball,
literally,
Teddy
we're
Ball
fairy
game
tale
went yard,
reality.
man.
Thank you.
Come on.
It's crazier that 3,000 tits was a home run.
Yeah, but that's
On
not
my
as
birthday.
crazy.
On your birthday?
On my birthday, with an exclamation point, Michael K.
Dante
said.
just said Ted Williams. Is the Ted Williams thing true?
Yeah, that's why the seat's red.
No. About what do you hit?
What the fuck was yours?
No.
403.
I'm not sure what
406.
that is.
406.
1941.
So I've heard a story that it was a doubleheader.
Correct.
And he surpassed 400 in the game in first game, and they're like, "Let's sit you the second
Correct.
game, so you keep 400." And then
He went 3 for 4 and raised it more
on his
points.
last game of the season, he raised his batting average 5 points.
I think
You're right. Is
I think it was like 4-0. No, I think he might have been 400 going into the doubleheader. And like you don't need to play in these games. And he's like, I'm going to. And he played in both and then raised his average to 406.
Even that sounds like you're getting 5 points in your last 2 games.
Yeah, you're right. That is.
Well, if you-
I got about you could get about
Go like
2
6 for
points
8
in
or
your
something. It's not that
average.
crazy.
He also played a fewer games back then too.
Less, but yes.
And this last one on this play-in option, this is a Klemmer one, which I agree with. How no one's able to make better ketchup than Heinz.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Great one. Who was this?
It's Klemmer.
I will say I read a Malcolm Gladwell essay about
So true.
about ketchup and how like 90% of people prefer like Heinz over everything else. And it's like why is they've cornered the marketplace for 100 years now, and like no one can figure out more than any other brand has the quality and the customer support that Heinz has, which is so weird.
Makes no sense, but think about it.
The rest
Every other
is like
ketchup
too chunky or weak.
Yeah.
doesn't taste the same. Yeah.
This is one I just thought of. But what did people do before glasses were invented?
You know, just,
They
They didn't
monocles.
see.
They just
right?
didn't see.
Like monocles.
No, like even before that.
Like Game of Thrones times, I think about that all the time. How many people in Game of Thrones are walking around blind?
So that's it for me.
There goes.
I'm adding,
Probably a lot.
adding languages.
I'm adding the languages.
And adding the languages on. What exactly about languages do you think people should talk about more?
I just feel like where they come from. Some people believe, Earth started with 2 people. Did they get pissed off? Went away, started their own language.
It's the story of Babel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. What's that?
Ironically, our next sponsor, by the way.
Is it really?
Yeah, that was great timing. That was great work.
Great work.
But yeah, so their play-in options are Bin Laden being responsible for BDSM, Michael and Bruce Buffer not meeting, how you spell the noise when you sniff, bird dicks, Bill Belichick being responsible for Friday Night Lights, the Jeter walk-off, how Heinz ketchup is clearly still the best, and then languages. Start with you, Klemmer.
I'm gonna go with the Heinz ketchup. It's something that ever since I read that essay, I've been very it's overtaken my mind. I've become borderline obsessed with it, and I've tried different ketchups too, and nothing stacks up.
Could be a good video series. Trying to find a ketchup better
And
than
Heinz, yeah. The
Or it could be the worst video series of all time.
That's more like the latter, but
Robbie.
The Heinz one is good. I have had like just generic like ShopRite ketchup or whatever, and I don't notice a difference. Heinz is definitely the best, but I'm not like, oh,
I think this is
I wish
almost
I was
like
having
society.
Heinz.
It's like,
Try Hunt sometime.
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
really? I guess I just
Okay.
never really tried it.
Well, you'd notice it side by side for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Fenway got Heinz this year. They've had Hunts for a few years. It's a big story. Really?
I'm not sure it's worthy of being talked about, but the one that like broke my brain the most is the one about sniffing, the noise that sniffing makes. So I'm gonna go with that one. Like I can't think of what that would
I
be.
just like I don't understand what any of you guys are talking about. Like this is one I can't
You
even
hear sniff.
I hear it enough that I can see spelling.
You might hear the I don't hear the SN or the F.
Starting.
There's no S in that, I don't think.
Starting noises.
I don't hear.
I think it's an
I
H.
hear the IF. I hear the IF for sure. I don't hear
It should
the
be
S.
HIF.
That's closer.
I can hear
yeah,
hip.
yeah, yeah. There's no S in.
And sniff.
If it's definitely
You gotta
closer.
stop sniffing me. Have
My listeners are fucking.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Don't do it. When you sniff, where's your tongue?
Oh no.
Just resting.
in your mouth. I
Missionary.
might be at the top. Of
Where
mine.
is it?
Pressed to the top of my mouth.
That was
When I
my
sniff,
question the whole
Yeah,
time.
top.
Where is everyone's tongue at
always-
all times?
It's always at the top of your mouth. I think
Then I started thinking
Oh,
about
it's not.
at the
Somebody's
bottom.
from the bottom.
I started thinking about how
Where's your
often you're
tongue
supposed
right
to breathe and
never
blink
thought
and
of
get
it.
all fucked
Yeah.
up.
I think it's top of my mouth.
And I want you, Dante, right now. Drink that drink. Where's your eyes go?
You should have waited till after.
You're always in. A lot of people are out.
Really?
I'm an in guy. I look in the
mean out?
bottle
I think I'm gonna get.
You look straight.
It makes you think of this stuff. This is
all
like
day.
I tell you, Marty's
That's all
got a
I
great
think about all
brain.
day.
this is some wild shit.
Out means
You're thinking about some like
out.
real things. I'm thinking about
I'm an outie.
really small.
Dude. No, this
It
is
gets my
like
brain all day.
I'm trying to like make mental notes of some of the stuff you brought up today. Because I'm like, man, next time I'm high, this is going to be some
really
wild shit to
Marty's a meta thinker. He's got some good ones.
It's real fun.
Tommy?
The buffer brother one kind of stuck with me the most, to be honest. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Even if you were just like the two girls out in the world were brothers, wow, that's pretty crazy. But they didn't know each other at all. I don't know how much we should talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing.
yeah.
Some things we just shouldn't.
We're not
talk
debating
about.
like what gets talked about less. We're debating what should get talked about more.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it got me, so I'm going with the buffer
It's a
one.
good one.
One for the buffer one. Dante.
I got to go the bird dick thing. I mean, 5 minutes ago, I just said I'm a big bird guy. I had no clue. I looked him up on my phone. I'm never going to be the
Imagine
same
that
person.
sucker whipped it out on
Dude,
you.
I'm never going to be the same ever again. Where have they been?
I know.
Like, where? How have I never noticed that
know.
before?
Never roused a bird, I guess.
I think that about cats sometimes. You never see a cat dick.
Yeah, I feel they got.
Never do.
A lot of
I looked them up once and I was like, whoa, I didn't know that's what they look like.
I gotta be honest. I don't love dogs that have the tails up.
Yeah.
I like them down.
Put that thing away. Jesus Christ.
A little respect.
Fights.
I'm going with the Belichick. Bill Belichick's responsible for every good football memory I have, so I'm going to give him respect of voting for him.
One for Bill Belichick. Marty.
Does anyone have two yet?
No.
Nothing has two yet. It's going to come down to one of the interns breaking it. If you don't pick us.
I want an intern to break it.
So which one do you want to pick
Because
then?
I don't feel strong. I like all of them. And I'm a little sad that Heinz Field dropped to Heinz Field, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
What about languages for you?
I like to keep that to myself.
Okay, so intern Mia will have you break again. Here are the options to choose from. Which one of these things do you think people should talk about more? The fact that Michael and Bruce Buffer didn't know each other until they were both in the fight business. How to spell the noise you make when you sniff. Birds' penises. Bill Belichick being responsible for Friday Night Lights. Or the fact that Heinz ketchup is clearly the best ketchup and there's not really any close second.
I gotta go with the sniff one for this one because I think it's also an NF kind of sound, kind of spelling there. NF.
That's why there's an NF in the word.
No, but like without the S and the I, just like it. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's that one.
So the sniff one is going to go up against our number 2 seed.
Everyone who's voting for the sniff one is like, there's kind of an S, there's kind of an N. and I." Like, yeah, it's the way we spell the word, guys.
But it's not exactly that. It's just a little
It's something
different.
I've never thought about.
It
Yeah,
got me bad.
fucked.
It's going against the number 2 seed, a Tommy Smoke special. One which I think you're dead on with this one. Oz the Mentalist. What the fuck is going on with that guy?
I mean, I know you guys are gonna be like, oh, he's never a magician.
He's actually.
No,
His stuff is crazy.
Stuff is weird.
you can't explain it. It
Yeah.
makes no sense.
There's some stuff with Oz the Mentalist where I know I can already hear Klemmer. It's fake. It's sleight of hand.
It's like black magic.
No, my issue with this isn't the fucking fact that it's just magic. My issue with this is you could might as well rename ESPN Oz the Mentalist.
Yeah.
Like, it's everywhere.
And Hard Knocks. Every football
Yeah.
team just
But
does.
he
Barstool.
should be like the president, or like he should be the biggest person in the world. Like Oz the Met, like this guy's crazy.
His name's Oz too. That's a big thing with him. He's like, my name isn't Oz.
It's not Oz.
Really?
That makes me
That makes
Big thing with him.
Oh, I hate that.
what a
His name's
Bothers
Oz.
me immensely.
like that makes him the biggest loser.
Yeah.
ever.
I know.
I love
You
it.
know this fucking word that is pronounced the same way for centuries,
It's
decades?
because you know.
I say it a little different.
That's like the announcer for CBS, Iron Eagle.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Iron Eagle.
But I've heard of Ions before.
Where?
I had a high school kid. I
And
went
he's
to-
also clearly playing it off like Wizard of Oz, which is and said Oz.
Yeah.
also, like Dr. Oz, he probably doesn't like to get
Trying to separate.
separate himself.
What's the crazy the shit that like makes me not be able to fucking comprehend is when he like writes
Yeah.
down
Yes.
stuff.
The phone one when he makes people swipe through their phones and then he knows where it landed
The
on.
one where he did with Jordan Berry was truly insane. It was like the contact in her phone was like a weird nickname for someone she barely even knew. and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's that." Like he knew it immediately.
There's no way to know that.
There's no explanation, and that's what I think more the talk. Like not, we talk about Oz the Mentalist, but it's more, it's like, how the fuck does this work?
Like we either need to worship this man as a god or like lock him away in like a 10,000-foot cave.
I think more like
You're right. If he lived in like Mayan times, he would be
burned at the stake.
Or he'd be a god.
Robbie's right.
They would burn him.
You're right.
So how we spell sniff versus Oz the Mentalist? Marty Mush.
Fuck these stink. I'm going with O's.
With O's the Mentalist. Oh, I fucking hate that.
Yeah, that's
that
horrible.
Sucks.
I guess I'll go Oz here.
I'm kicking him out in 4 seconds when I can.
You have to, because John already explained it's onomatopoeia, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
There's a word describing.
Really?
There's a word. No, there's a word that defines why those words are the way
It
they
is
are.
onomatopoeia. It
You
is.
did just say, isn't this about like what doesn't get talked about enough? Like you guys just said it's on ESPN all the time.
Always gets talked about it.
I
An
was agree.
explanation
We
of the
should
mouth.
talk more about how
Yes.
is this.
Yes.
Tommy's right.
Well, he's a magician, Tommy.
He's
how's it
more
work?
than your household.
Tommy's right.
So much more than
Tommy's right.
He's good. He's a fantastic magician.
I don't
He's a
know,
mentalist.
man.
He's like
I don't
supernatural,
know.
man.
He's a mentalist.
He's
There's an
supernatural.
explanation for everything he's doing.
to me, it's like a million times more impressive than any like Chris Angel floating bullshit.
Agreed.
He's
Like,
really good. He's a very impressive. He's really good at his job.
I don't
He's
know.
Incredible.
He might have some powers.
yeah, he might be legitimately magic. Yeah. All we know. Dante.
I already said Oz all day.
I might take my vote back and I might abscond from this one.
Abstain from this one?
Yeah.
You have that right.
Abstain.
So double abstain.
Oh, everyone's insane.
They're both so bad. We gotta draw a line at some point.
Just went over.
Oz the Mentalist.
I agree with the bracket.
Just ran it over the Secretary of the Bracket committee. You can only allow 2 abstains on a whole round. So if you 2 are using your abstain,
Yes,
everybody
Oz
else.
Not true at all. Anyone can abstain.
I mean, he's the committee.
I'm not the committee. I talked to
Oh,
them.
sure.
yeah.
Tommy.
So this guy's a freak, and we got to get to the bottom of it.
yes.
Robbie.
O is in my heart. I kind of feel the sniff one, but I don't want to get stuck on that again. O's.
Matter with the sniff one. He's a fantastic. He's a great entertainer. It doesn't. It's not that
He's
hard.
a devil. He's a Satan.
He's more than that, Klemmer. He's a mentalist. Show some respect.
I mean, like, what are we doing?
You know, we don't talk about how good Tom Brady throws a football.
Yeah, right.
How's he doing? Huh?
Yeah.
O's the Mentalist is going to move on. Before we get into our playoffs, let's talk about Babbel. We just mentioned before. Again, you mentioned just a fucking few minutes later, would have been the perfect segue. Be a better you this summer with Babbel, the science-backed language learning app that actually works. Don't pay hundreds of dollars for private tutors or waste hours on apps that don't really help you learn the language. Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are handcrafted by over 200 language experts to help you start speaking language in little as 3 weeks. Babbel's designed by real people for real conversations. Babbel's tips and tools are approachable, accessible, rooted in real-life situations, and delivered with conversation-based learning so that you are ready to practice what you've learned in the real world. I use it to start helping myself learn a little bit of Spanish. Very helpful, much better than some of the competitor apps, which we will mention here. One study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to an entire semester of college. Babbel has over 16 million subscriptions sold. Here's a special limited time deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/lights. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/lights, spelled BABBEL.com/lights. The rules and restrictions may apply. Never forget, Stephen Shea said he'd rather have $20 in his pocket than immediate fluency in a foreign language of his choosing. Just you never heard that one before? That's a great Shea one from the bracket. $20 he'd rather have than immediate, like instantaneous fluency in any language he wants. He's just a special mind. So shout out to Babbel. Next up on our playoffs, we have the number 13 seed. The fact that there's no jail in New York City, versus the number 5 seed Parrots. And just everything about Parrots again, the age, the speaking, all that stuff.
I gotta go with Parrots here. I mean, like I said, not only the speaking, which is just memorization, but they live still. Parrots are intriguing.
Parrots, very intriguing. Bob Fox.
The fact that just a few weeks, maybe months ago, we voted like Donald Trump the funniest human being to ever live. We can't just continue voting Tommy's MAGA points as the leader of the bracket. This has become a propaganda show. We're going Parrot.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's literally a parrot for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
2 for Parrots.
I mean, what's more detrimental to society? The jail thing. But some people do talk about that, not enough. parrots we should talk about way more. We should worship them similar to how we worship Oz the Mental.
So 3 for parrots, Dante.
Also, what other animal can you walk around with perched on your shoulder?
On your shoulder, just a monkey, maybe
And
tiny
people,
monkey.
And people just are like totally, oh, that's cool. Like
Yeah.
people don't freak out. Yeah, parrots.
The fact that parrots are pirates, kind of sick too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Parrots versus
Parrots versus no jail.
parrots.
Parrots as well.
Parrots as well. Parrots is going to move on. Now we have the aliens existing versus the fact that it's never been 100 degrees in Miami. This is an absolutely insane bracket.
Tough one.
Marty.
Miami.
Over at aliens.
Yeah. Because I talk about aliens a lot.
Fair.
They're in Antarctica and shit.
1 for Miami.
Pretty easy. Miami.
2 for Miami.
People talk about aliens a lot. People don't talk about Miami.
Same.
Right. 3 for Miami over aliens.
I knew that aliens have been confirmed to exist. I had no idea it's never been 100 degrees in Miami. I don't know how much we should talk about it, but it should be talked about a little bit more.
4 for Miami right now. Bob Fox.
Miami pains me to vote against the alien one, but it's true.
That is a fact you put in your pocket until you're in Miami.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna tell that fact to somebody like within the next 4 years.
Oh, me too.
So obviously, I just want to say one thing. People are gonna think like someone's farting on the show. It's not. It's just chair squeaks.
No one was thinking that.
Nobody
Now
was
they will.
thinking that.
Now they will. Now they're going to think you're farting.
No, they won't. I can't. No one can fart that much.
It does sort of sound like your fart noise.
It does, but I'm not farting. It's not me. I swear to God, if I farted, I would own it. Yes, Miami.
Miami.
Caps are so small. When you do it like put it outward like this, they're so small. The
How big do you want my kneecaps to be?
You asked that like very intimately. Would you like my kneecaps?
I'd make them bigger if I could, but I can't.
for you.
It is what it is.
Bin Laden brought us
Yeah, I was
that.
about to say, Bin Laden brought us this whole conversation. Now Miami versus the Parrots. I feel like those two kind of go hand in hand. I feel like there's probably parrots in Miami.
Oh.
Definitely.
Do they go hand in hand?
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of parrots in Miami. You think I'm
No, pirates sailed at the Caribbean. Caribbean's kind of close to Miami.
Tropical,
It's not
yeah.
that much of a
U.S. city that was parrot-like is Miami.
Yeah, Jimmy Buffett.
New Orleans, maybe.
Parrot heads.
Yep.
New Orleans,
US.
but it's not as Caribbean. It's not.
That's true.
Like
I would like to test this. Should we bring someone in? What U.S. city makes
Would you most
Yeah.
associate?
Yeah, let's get somebody.
Which security
Meek?
guard is here today?
Meek out there?
Oh, Meek has not. Get somebody with a normal brain.
Meek would say the dumbest thing you've ever heard.
Tuscaloosa.
I love Meek.
Get someone that's like normal.
But security pass.
Oh, security.
Security. Oh, this is good.
Yeah.
He's
I
as
think
normal as it gets.
Yeah.
Exactly. Here, use
straight.
Klemmer's mic. We're gonna ask you. We're gonna ask you a quick question.
Don't think too much about it. First thing that comes to your mind.
First thing that comes to mind: which U.S. city would you most associate with parrots? If you had to pick one.
I know the answer.
Portland.
The answer is wow. The answer is Key West.
Portland. I kind of don't want an explanation.
Maine or Oregon? What's that? Portland, Maine or Portland, Oregon?
Portland, Maine.
All right.
It's Key West.
I love that guy.
Best. That was unbelievable.
It's Key West.
Key West.
Okay,
is
Key West
would be a great one.
Key West,
Key
is
West.
Miami, right?
Yeah, somewhere in Florida.
It's right near Miami. It's right. It's
Southern
right
Florida.
there.
It's right there.
I mean, it's a little further.
It's an hour. It's a beautiful drive.
That must have been the worst answer.
Portland, Maine. I want a shirt now that says like Portland, Maine has a parrot on it.
Parrot country.
Just remake one of the shirts that absolutely exist about how they are dominant for lobsters.
That was unbelievable.
That was great.
Portland, Maine, the best parrot
thought
you've
of
ever had.
When you told him not to think, he just thought of a city.
That was good.
He didn't blink down. That was just like the last city you could think of.
He's 2 for 2. He's 2
is,
for 2.
in a
The
great
last
moment.
one was incredible.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
He's great.
So Miami versus Parrots. Klemmer.
Yeah, I got to go parrots here. I think it's like more all encompassing. Just the Miami's just the weather. Parrots. I'm talking about the whole thing.
The age. The
Everything. Yeah, and the memorization's interesting too. But yeah, we don't talk about parrot. I was thinking too. A parrot is
Their
the
tongues are dry.
really.
Completely dry.
That makes it even more
That
impressive.
might have
That's
fucking.
big.
That's a huge
edge
point.
there.
Yeah.
Every time Rudy would fucking bite the shit out of me, his tongue hits you and it's dry.
Like a stick of wood?
Weird, huh?
It's just like a stick of wood? Like a toothpick?
Yeah, it's like when your tongue is dry, that's what it exactly is. So like the weirdest feeling in the entire
Ugh.
world.
Sandpaper, right?
Yeah.
I hate
yeah.
that.
I was thinking too. We kind of mock parrots in society. Like the parrot is the mascot of the pirates, but he's kind of a goof. Like I don't think we treat parrots with enough respect.
What, as being as creepy as they are, or being
Somebody like repeats something, just like, "Oh, you're a parrot."
Yeah.
No,
It's an insult.
if somebody does something amazing, we should be like, "Wow, you're a parrot."
You live forever. You're a parrot. Yeah. If someone's 105, you're a fucking parrot.
Yeah.
They're like cool colors too.
Yep.
Most parrots.
Cool green.
Yeah.
Parrots use tools too. They use sticks as tools to dig into things.
They're fucking.
That's a sign of a great intelligence, isn't it?
Birds are
Rudy
smart,
was
man.
like
Birds are really smart.
going down like the poles and shit, like sliding down and stuff. He's like
So
stripping. Yeah.
I nominated this. It didn't get taken, but you know that for every one human, there's 50 birds.
I believe it.
That's too many birds.
That's a
Because
lot.
that's like the
believe
one
it.
thing that's talked about a lot is that like you've never seen a baby pigeon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You never heard this?
No.
Yeah,
I've heard
you've
that
never
before, yeah.
seen a pigeon.
Well, they're
that's a
government
baby.
psyops.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Haven't they never seen a shark sleep? Isn't that a thing?
I think so.
I don't think we've seen sharks sleep.
Yeah, that's a thing too.
But parrots get 1 vote versus Miami.
Before that dry tongue fact, I was going Miami. I'm going parrot.
Wow, I
Sent me over
swayed
the
you with
edge.
That one? Nice.
They also have antibacterial somethings in their wings or in their feathers. That's another things are insane. Tommy,
I mean, every time we bring it up, a new fun fact is unearthed. Parrots.
parrots. Dante,
The Miami thing still
it's really got you.
Miami thing's
Crazy.
more mind blowing.
crazy to me.
I think it's Miami too. I was gonna say parrots. Obviously, the dry tongue might have pushed me over the edge. I think I'm sticking Miami. That's stunning.
Miami 3-2 in favor of the parrots right now.
Let's have a little fun. I'll go with Miami. Let's give it to the intern.
Miami, Mia, you're back up. Which fact is more, or which is something that people should talk about more? The fact that it's never been 100 degrees in Miami, or parrots.
Well, I feel like has it been 100 degrees in Miami and we just don't know about it? Like
Never been recorded.
That's what kind of leads me towards parrots. So I'm gonna go with parrots.
Another one for parrots. That means parrots is going to go into the finals. Before we get to the other side, let's hear from our last sponsor today, Factor Meals. We love Factor here.
So good.
Oh my God, they are. That's like one of the first meal delivery services I've ever been. Like they figured this out.
Kept fights going during surviving Barstool.
Sure did.
Had it last
Exactly.
night. Had some of that. It was like a pork ragu. It was so good.
Oh, sounds good.
Warmer, sunnier days are calling. Fuel up with Factor's no prep, no
Not
mess
Miami.
meals. Not Miami. Meet your wellness goals in time for this summer. Later in the summer, thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Their fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time in your day to enjoy nutritious, great-tasting meals. Make today the day that you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll have new flavors to explore all the time. Crush your wellness goals this month with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients that you can trust. Head to factormeals.com/LCB50 and use code LCB50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code LCB50 at factormeals.com/LCB50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. Shout out to Factor. Love those guys. Other side of the bracket, magnets versus taxes. Powerhouse matchup. Marty.
Easy magnets. I
Magnets.
think we like magnets are one of those things that we just don't want to look into and are just cool, and we should talk about them more. But they're fantastic.
Fights.
Yeah. I mean, anything that played a hugely important role in a Fast and Furious plot is getting me here. So,
And what do you call Breaking Bad? as
Breaking
well?
Bad, magnets,
Such a
bitch.
good episode.
Dante.
Magnets, man. And you got to factor in too, the poles are all
What?
affected by and affect magnets.
Oh, I thought you meant the voting
like-
polls.
No.
So did I. So did I.
I was like,
No. The poles,
Yeah.
poles on the globe. So like where you are on the planet determines how magnets
weird, yeah.
react. Like shit's
Yeah, that's
wild.
wild.
It's wild. It's like witchcraft. Wild.
3 for magnets.
Yeah, magnets. I just want, I don't want to get into another big argument, but, Klemmer's always so quick to shoot down, magic, talking to dead people. Like, there are some things in the universe that are just so insane that we do accept, a la magnets, that, like, it's possible there's some other crazy shit out there.
that's what always I think there's other sauces out there.
but like,
I like your sauce argument.
Yeah.
explain magnets.
What's that?
Yeah, but, like,
Somebody
it's
can explain-
crazy.
No one in this room can. But
There's some things
someone
we
can explain. People can explain.
There have been at points in history times where we couldn't explain magnets.
You think there's enough?
Right, when we were dumber. We had less knowledge.
Maybe-
but
maybe
you
we're too
really
dumb
think
right now.
Oz the Mentalist is a actual
I
wizard?
would go more to the
I do.
the psychic.
Okay, all right. You think the psychics are more?
Not psychics. I think
mediums
to dead.
I think if you
is more likely than a magician.
if you sat down,
I think the opposite is probably true.
sat down,
I think that's an insane thing to say.
Talking to dead people. That's the logical explanation.
if you sat down O's and you put a gun to his head and you were like, "I'm gonna kill you if you
Yes.
don't explain to me how you do what you do," I don't think he could tell. I don't think he would just.
We should
be
do
like,
that, by the way.
Good reality
And
show.
start calling yourself Oz.
Dude, I think
two demands.
I think he's wired differently, man. Seriously, I think there's something. Up with him that's
Okay, so
not
you-
up with the
so
rest
you-
of us.
So you think he's a god?
Yeah, he does.
He does.
Yes. All right.
I respect that.
Not my word for it, but
Aren't we lucky that he decided to go into like being a performer then? How blessed are we that he used his great trait?
good point.
Another one for magnets from Tommy.
Magnets, so easy. Magnets.
Magnets as well.
Thank the God. God, man. He's done.
Could have done anything, and look at him out there now.
Plumber and
He's
Jumped magician.
I'm getting on Hard Knocks.
yeah.
He's like Queen of Hearts.
You'll have me on the yak.
instead of getting so mad at everyone I work with, let's just rip them off. I should just find ways to just trick them out of their money because they're so fucking stupid and gullible.
No, I don't think anyone would buy you as a mentalist.
No, but just find some other way or pay someone to do it and then take and split halves.
Next up, we have always the mentalist versus the handles. How we'd all be fucked without handles.
This is getting hard now.
Just be a fucking sweep.
It's getting hard.
Handles, one of the biggest blowouts in bracket history. Handles.
Wow, handles.
In terms of things people don't talk enough about, it is always has been on everything.
Well, we should talk about more how the hell is he doing it.
But that's what we talk about once we see him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's more just like, oh, that was
exactly where the conversation.
Exactly what we're doing.
Action is
We're not-
holy shit. How did he do that?
All right, we have to get to the fucking bottom of it.
That's a different bracket.
Also, it is. I feel like I know how he does it. It's sleight of hand somehow. I don't know how he does it, but it's sleight
That's
of hand.
not an explanation.
And it's like that's what all magic comes down to. at some point.
Explanation: they talk to the dead.
Handles until it was uttered by Mush. Never in my life have I been like I'm real grateful for him. But now that we're talking about it, how fucked would we be without one? We'd be stuck in this room forever.
Yeah.
Tommy?
Yeah, I think we did one time on Barstool Radio. The handle got
Did get stuck.
We were stuck in here.
The handle on the door in the old HQ broke. Do you remember that?
No.
I got stuck
Willie had to, like,
on the
break it
first
down?
day.
Oh yeah, in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Correct.
I'm going with those. I mean, I'll be spared when he decides to hit it. Rest of you heathens.
Dante.
Handles.
Handles.
Jesus, Dante.
After all
I thought you were gonna get him right away.
No, I'm serious.
Handles in just a bloodbath.
Yeah. Not even close.
It's not gonna walk magnets. I'm telling you that right now.
Okay, so handles. How fucked would we be without handles?
Say about that.
Or how handles work to go into the finals? Handles versus magnets. Marty.
It is tough. It is tough, but in my everyday life, handles.
Handles. There are some handles that are magnets too. They snap closed.
Oh,
Yeah.
Think about that way. Yeah.
Oh shit.
yo.
It's
2-0 handles.
2-0 for handles.
Magnets.
Magnets.
2-2 Magnet.
2-2. Magnets and handles. Oh, Bob Fox is a big vote.
I'm going magnets.
Magnets.
Yeah.
Look at Klemmer.
3-2. Oh my God. Oh my God. He took his flying.
He's like hovering over a nuke button.
The nuclear football.
There have been two instances in pop culture that we brought up in this very show that promote magnets: Breaking Bad, Fast and Furious. Because of that, I feel like handles are actually talked about less. We don't talk about handles enough. I've never
We're
seen
not
that
debating
promoted.
what's talked about less. We're debating what should be talked about more.
And handles are not talked about at all. And I feel these are pretty equal level playing field. Magnets more impressive, but handles are so disrespected. It has to be handles.
And a baby Klemmer.
Wow.
And a baby Klemmer.
Good argument.
Like, we should have one day where we appreciate handles.
And they honestly might
we
be a
should all-
national handles day.
We should talk about handles on one day. All the boys, you know, that's a boys' day, right there.
Talk about handles.
Talk about show different handles and how great they are.
A bunch of shit.
Oh yes.
What the fuck would we do without a handle?
And any handle you use, you send it to the chat.
It's like a car show. You bring them all in and like, I got this one.
Dude, that'd be be a long list.
And like a bar crawl, maybe a bar crawl, but just places have good different
handles.
And you know, like every year we're gonna talk on that.
Like
day.
take a whack of that handle.
We set a day for National
Yeah,
Handle.
we could absolutely.
today.
It's today. It's July 16th.
I kind of want to do this day soon.
All right, yeah, maybe.
All right.
Okay, line up for like a month from now or something.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
August 16th.
I'll pick it right now. You want August or September before football?
Before football. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it gets overshadowed.
All right, August
20th?
19th.
Oh, it's my grandma's birthday.
Nice.
No,
Sucks to be her.
Okay, August 20th.
Okay.
All right, we gotta do
Handles
this. We
day.
gotta do this.
August 20th handles.
August 20th is Handles Day. If you're listening to this, if you on August 20th you find a good handle, you make sure you
Tweet it at us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag Handles Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my calendar right now.
Yeah. By the way,
Can I be the president of the day?
absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah, this is your day.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
So we are tied 3-3 though, and it's gonna be Mia. You're gonna have to break the tie. Handles after that whole conversation. Which one of these things people talk about more, handles or magnets?
Mia, all I'm going to say is the next words out of your mouth are incredibly important.
Yes.
Okay,
Correct.
so here's my thing. I feel like handles are getting all the hype right now, but there's knobs. There's pushing doors. So it's like that makes me like magnets a little bit more.
You're leaving out the handles. You just
Handles?
You're like, well, other things exist. You leave
No,
You know
but
what?
like,
I'm switching
handle-
my vote to handles.
That wasn't the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just took a woman's voice away.
Silence!
Thanks, Tommy.
Yeah.
Silence!
I'm just saying, there's other ways around a handle.
Okay, so
There are ways around a handle, except like the one I'm thinking
not,
of
though.
is
You carry a suitcase sometimes.
luggage. Yeah, luggage.
Also, a knob is sort of a different handle.
I think it's like squares and rectangles. Yeah.
Like all knobs
are handles, not
but
all handles are
yes,
knobs.
Yes.
all right, so we're back. Handles versus parrots.
This is a championship.
The championship.
Fucking heavyweight.
Handles
This is wow.
versus parrots.
Before we get to it, I have one quick question. Is there one thing in this world, if it didn't exist, would you not recognize it was not there?
What do you mean? Like
Yeah.
Took one thing away.
Definitely.
air?
That
Like
might be a good bracket topic, actually.
There, you would
Wouldn't
die
recognize
immediately.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You'd
Oh, you
recognize.
wouldn't recognize
We should say this for a bracket. Like that's a
most-
great bracket question.
Yeah, hold on to that one. So
color fuchsia.
Yeah.
I mean, most colors.
Most colors.
Do you think there's other
Not most
colors?
No, not most.
There's so many colors.
most specific
true.
colors, not like
Not like
they're-
red.
Like, did we know red to begin with, or it never
Like eggshell for white.
Those colors don't. I don't know.
did it ever exist in the first place, or
Oh, yeah, it's
Primary color.
oh, so then red is all of a sudden just goes away. Yeah, you notice that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Larry David might have once said like a couch cushion, a couch pillow, not a cushion pillow.
right.
Oh, I would notice.
I think I would notice that too. I didn't understand that one, but there's definitely some things that I would go through life and like, oh,
There's been like there's snack food from the '80s that I didn't recognize wasn't there for a couple years, and when it's gone, I couldn't have it again. Oh, I just yearned for it.
Like what?
This snack called Doodads. It was like Chex Mix but better. And one day it just vanished from the shelves. And it's like my favorite snack mix.
that was Quiznos for me. When
Wasn't
Quiznos
that
was
much
gone,
of
I
a
was sad.
favorite?
It was. Well, I was a little kid. I was like 11, so it wasn't like I had a lot of purchasing power. But like I would then like go to the supermarket. I'm like, oh, where's Doodads? And like you kept waiting for it to come back, and it never came back.
hand sanitizer.
Crazy how old doodad sounds.
I know.
That sounds like something an old person. Oh,
I
these
know.
doodads.
And the box is super like 70s, 80s.
I think
looking.
if that
Believe
thing
it.
was
Font.
gone, I'd have
Believe
no
it.
idea.
Okay, so finals matchup: Parrots versus Handles. Klemmer, you're up first.
I'm gonna go with handles. I feel like parrots do get some love. Like I said, whether sometimes it's mocking as a mascot, but parrots do have more of a oomph of society than handles do.
Handles.
I think he's right. I think that's a good analysis. Also, I voted against handles last time. Sometimes you get beat by a good competitor and you say, I respect your game.
Attaboy, Bob. Attaboy.
My only holdup is there is now a national handles.
Yeah.
So it has started.
We fucking.
It has started
right
to
there.
get some recognition.
National Parrot Day, May 31st, just passed. Just
Yeah.
putting it out there.
Oh, okay.
Good day.
Yep. World Parrot Day.
So
That's a good still.
I mean, in the
I shouldn't say that.
spirit of the bracket, I will go handles. In the spirit of the bracket.
Okay.
That's
Three-
spirit.
No. I don't want the spirit of the bracket. It's
still spirit of the bracket.
Parrot. This was your thing. Was the parrot, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we just came up with the National Handles Day.
I won't. You'll be still part of the group if you want to be.
No, I'm going handles.
See, good. That was a test. I was kicking your ass out.
Yeah, women gone so fast.
That president would have got you bad.
3 for handles, Dante.
Like Robbie, I was team magnet hard, and handles changed my mind.
Handles, man.
This goes back to society.
Beat the king, you're the new king.
Yeah.
Society went for the very first thing.
Oh, you're right. It is.
Who's gonna? I think it has to be Marty. Who's gonna open that handle when we walk out of this?
Oh, it's Marty. It's Marty. You got to.
It's gonna be a magical.
Yeah.
Honestly, we should all do it.
You should all touch
Close
it together.
it once.
Yes.
Yeah. Keep closing it. We all get to touch that.
Yeah. Fights.
5-0.
5-0. Clean
It's
sweep.
6-0. But the reason why no one talks about parrots a lot is because they're fucking annoying. I had one, and why do I not have it anymore?
Yeah, I would never get
really-
a parrot.
That's why you're right though. It was Sharon talked about enough about the talking part, but they fucking squawk. So my bird was anal. Put the light on, he starts screaming. You don't do right things, he'd scream at you. He's a piece of shit.
What else didn't he like? He didn't like the light?
He hated the light. He only would get on a broomstick. He wouldn't walk.
I remember the broom. Yeah,
It was like
When Marty walked into the old HQ,
holding the
been
broom.
late. It was a Sox-Yankees game, playoff game. He'd been late, couldn't find a parking spot. By the time he got from his car to the elevators opening, the
When I-
Sox were up like 6.
when I got out of the car, it was 2-1 Red Sox, and when I got in there, it was 9-2.
And he just came in like, "Let's go, boys!"
Everyone's like they're getting smoked.
Were you afraid the bird was going to fly off the broom when you were in the city?
Yeah. And I was afraid it was going to fly at Dave, and I'd just be fired.
Yeah.
But the winner is going to be handles. The winner bracket episode 135. Sean, real quick, see if you can get that camera focused straight down at that handle.
We all just created a new friendship in handles.
Yeah.
August 20th cannot come
go.
soon enough.
Are you talking about the door handle, like for you guys to leave?
Get the camera that's next to Klemmer.
Move this.
Face down towards. It would be, I guess, the one that's like facing. Yeah, that camera angle. Face that down towards the handle.
Everything is broken. In here.
Everything's broken.
Everything,
that handle.
Nothing works.
Here, so let's turn that camera angle towards the handle if you can. Other way. You see, go straight down, then to the right. Okay.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Yeah.
That's a good handle shot right
Good
there.
handle shot. We're gonna sign off as we all go and touch the handle to open it up. Okay. Good shot. Good shot. Yeah! What a moment.